Hello, welcome back. This segment, which belongs to part 2 of my 2015 planner setup series, is to go over the business portion of the changes that I made in this year's setup. So if you saw part 1, that was the personal planner setup for my life in general, not necessarily work related. So feel free to check that out. I'll post a link in the comment section below for that video if you'd like to take a look. But this particular review, not a review, but a quick look at the business portion of my setup. As you probably can tell, it is in a separate planner. I work from home, and last year my focus was on trying to get both work and personal into the same planner. And it worked for a while. There were times that it got busier than I would have liked, and it became a struggle. But this arrived on the 5th of January, and at first glance, I was kind of disappointed. I mean, I'd seen it in the 8.5 by 11 version. I'd even printed the free printable pages that you can from their website, but it didn't seem to want to work for me. This time around, though, I took a little bit of changes to it, and I want to walk you through what I did, and so far it's working fabulously. So I have a little ollie clip at the top. It's holding down the first few pages, but I want to give you a quick view. I glued in my in case of emergency business card in here. It has my contact list, just in case if I'm ever in like a car accident or whatever, they'll see that. Then my phone number and email address is on the If Found, and then there's some informational pages about the Passion Planner, how to set up your goals and do a roadmap, and then how to put the pieces of that roadmap into a plan, into your weekly layout. So I don't need to look at that every day, so I went ahead and put the ollie clip on there for now to just hold the page directly to the 2015 and 2016 spread. What I've done is I have taken the holidays and highlighted them. The ones in green represent my firm actually acknowledges it, and I have a day off that day. The pink ones are on a weekend, or they're not a holiday that the firm provides a day off for. For example, November 11th is Veterans Day, but the firm does not close for that day, or the stock exchange, which is what usually we go in line with whatever the stock exchange, the New York NYSE stock exchange is open. I also highlighted pre-planned vacation days. This is a 3-week cruise, and then down at the bottom I've indicated how many hours of vacation I'll get for 2015, and I'm going to start tracking how many hours of every vacation day that I take. So in this particular case, there's 120 hours of the 300, so that way I can start keeping track. It was harder last year to do so, and then this year I got an extra week of vacation because I'm celebrating my 15th year with the firm. 2016, I haven't done anything yet with it. And then the monthly spread. Now, typically you're supposed to put your goals that you did in your mind map on this page. I went ahead and just put some important, an important date that is firm related. Now, this is primarily going to be just for business, but there are just a few examples of some personal items in here, but it'll make sense, I think, or I hope, when we take a look at it. Now, I haven't done much on this page. I would like to do more with this because I am getting ready to set my goals for the firm goals for the year. So I plan to put those down into that, as well as to break it down for the weekly area. Now remember, this once you turn the page, it takes you into the weekly spread. There is a spot to put your week's focus on, as well as what good things that happen that week. In my opinion, I think that this should be at the end of the week because not at the beginning. It feels like it's at the beginning this way. Then you have a column on the left that says personal to-do list with top priority, priority, and errands. And then work to-do list is on the right with the same kind of background breakdown. There's also a quote over here on the left-hand side, and then at the top of each day, which starts on a Sunday, which I don't know why most U.S. citizens kind of think of Sunday as the start because of our calendar setup. Our calendars are typically set from Sunday to Saturday in that format, but since I've joined Filofax groups, I have really enjoyed the Monday start because that's really the start of the week for me. But in this case, there is a Sunday start. You put at the top of the page your today's goals, and let me just raise this up a little bit. You put your today's goals. Then you have starting at 6 a.m., 6:30, etc. in half-hour increments all the way down to 10:30 at night appointment times. The 12 p.m. Hour is kind of on the gray side, and I think that's just supposed to indicate maybe a lunch time. Not everybody takes lunch at that same time, but I understand why they would do it. Then the day is there, the focus, etc., and then there are holidays put in here as well. And then at the bottom is a take notes, draw, journal, or brainstorm. So I don't use it with an open spot like that, and I'll show it to you next. So I did get it on the 5th. So what I did was I put what my weekly focus was. Don't worry, I use little codings. And then NRD is a code for me for non-release deliverables and things I delivered that were done. And then I put my scheduled items on here. Some pink items that are highlighted are things that were going to affect my schedule. So, for example, my doctor's appointment is on here, and I highlighted it pink to indicate that it's personal, and it's on here because it affects my work schedule. Then at the top there is a birthday from my personal planner pages, but this is a work-related birthday, so I don't have her in my personal planner pages because she's, while I'm at work, I'll just wish her happy birthday via email or give her a ring, etc. Then I started using the today's focus, where I put what I was focusing on as far as my work on those top spots. And then down below, when we look into the task area, which we'll look at in just a second, I was transferring tasks from down here and putting them up here. And if I did that, I would highlight it green to indicate that it's a task from down here. Then again, a personal item where it was going to affect my work schedule, and this was a personal task where I needed to buy a door that was related to this. Then again, a task related item. These are appointments in here, and then a reminder that I need to go to the office to do this because I needed to update some recorded training screenshots and I needed a certain resolution. So I put those in there. Then at the bottom, I was new to going to this gym, so I put it in and I highlighted it purple, indicating that it was health related. I don't really use a color coding system, but I think I will continue to do the color coding that I've got going on here and kind of continue to use them because I think it's helpful to have something pop out of the page at you and know that I'm scheduling blocks of time for tasks, etc. So then at the bottom left, there were personal to-dos and work to-dos. This is not going to be a personal planner for me. This is a work planner. So both columns are the same. However, I am trying to keep the top part, the top priority of the week, and then medium and low priority. Some of these are duplicated because then on the right-hand side, what I did was I broke up the blank space into 4 areas: delegated, agenda items, waiting on, and follow-up items. Agenda items are where I need to talk to somebody about something, but I have a weekly meeting with them and I want to build up my conversations that I need to have with them, and I would list out what topics need to be discussed when I have my meeting with them. And once done, I check it off. The follow-up items are things that I need to follow up on and tend to be over here as well, because I'll mark that I emailed to follow up on it. And then when I'm waiting on something from somebody else to take action on it, but it's not necessarily delegated, meaning I need an answer or I can't proceed until I find out from this other person. And the delegated ones where I've actually delegated the action to another party, and once they've completed it, I mark a check mark next to it. The to-do items, typically I would only put a check mark when it's completed. In this case, I highlighted these boxes halfway because I'm about halfway done with updating the screenshots for this. Once I'm done, the entire box will be grayed out, just like it is on this one, because these two people got me the screenshots back that I had delegated, and they're complete, and so forth. So if I didn't, I'll know that I need to take these items and make sure I'm transferring them to the pages that follow. So here is a blink next week's kind of view, my schedule. I went ahead and highlighted birthdays. These are green because it's a task to remind myself to wish them happy birthday. Appointments are in the middle, and then I continue to put my Planet Fitness. As each day progresses, I'll put my focus for the day. I went ahead and put and transferred some of the waiting on and follow-up items that I needed to put here. As topics come up, the agendas will fill up, and anything that gets delegated will go here. Because I started this on the 5th, initially thinking that I would use the personal to-do list, I ended up erasing what was there that was personal and writing in more work tasks, because I have a lot more work than I do personal. And so that's why the right side was being filled out before the left. But now I can continue to add high priority items, medium and low priority items, all in that order on this sheet. Now, as things come up, and I want to focus on it, I might have it added to make time and say, during this time, I'm going to do this, this follow-up or something of that nature. That way, I'm making more of a goal to get a task completed during a specific time, instead of saying, going online and procrastinating. Now, the weeks that follow have not been completed, but I will continue to do the 4 boxes, etc. And then at the end of the week, I end up filling in the schedule. A lot of these things get changed. There was one thing that I wanted to indicate on here. You'll notice that I have some check marks next to them. Those and an X. An X was a meeting did not take place. It was canceled. But the ones that have a check mark indicate that I emailed a meeting minutes for it to our team. If they don't, it's usually a one-on-one or a phone call that was had, but I don't need to send a meeting minutes for them. I also have some time where I didn't have to put a check mark on it, but these are usually meeting minutes, etc. This was the task, so it's complete, 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 and then this one was canceled. This one took place, and I believe I've sent meeting minutes for this one, as well as the one below it. So that's how I indicate it, so that I know I can reference those meeting minute notes if I ever need to find out what the latest status or latest message that I delivered over to our team stated. So, like I said, the following weeks haven't been filled out. They'll be filled out on Friday, etc. And then there are note pages. So you'll notice at the top there is access projects and a little metal page clip. On the access projects, it's just a Martha Stewart or Post-it brand little tab that I stuck on here. But I went ahead and put my projects I'm working on, what the access number is on the Access database, and when the project is complete, that just means I don't need to update that line item anymore. But because these are still outstanding, these are the things I get asked about the most in regards to where are we on a certain project. So I need to remind myself every week, which it is on my weekly tasks, to update the Access database so that it has the most current information, so that any one of our project managers can take a look at it and see where it is if I'm not available. Then there's a bunch of blank pages. This book is for the year 2015, so I expect that these pages may get filled up, but I don't expect that they would take all of these pages. Then the little green tabby that I showed earlier is attached to the first page of the graphs. Now, I did put 15.01. It just means that this is the year 2015 and this is the first month, and I would list out the projects that I was assigned in January, and then I would have a 15.02, etc., and use these pages that follow for the 12 months of projects that were assigned to me. Then, at the very, very back, I took all the projects, the project lists that everybody has, that they typically are always assigned projects that are related to a certain topic, into the back. And I just used double-sided tape and I glued them in so that I can always reference if somebody asks me who manages this tool. I know who to reference. Then in the very back is every release for the entire year of 2015 and their dates, and also who is doing the support staff calls. Both November and December were canceled, so the next person to do anything is in January. And then I have a little another ollie clip here at the bottom. This just holds this gusseted pocket, and it's a pretty big pocket. I mean, you can fit a lot of stuff in here, but because of that, it makes it kind of loose fitting. And I just have those little transparent dots for the monthly calendar, or the yearly calendar page in here. And I just put the ollie clip in here just to kind of secure the pocket and the stickers inside. Then what it has is a little rubber band to keep the package sealed, and I am waiting on a pen loop that I'm going to add to the front of this planner so that my Friction Biz in black ink stays with this one. I use my Friction with blue ink in my personal planner. They are erasable, so I can take the cap off the bottom of it, and with that I'm able to erase what I've written. And I only use those, even though they're not archival quality, I only use this because I have so many changes that take place. I can't live without being able to erase, and I'm not one of those fans of whiteout all over my pages. So for now, I'm using these Friction pens. So that stays with that one, and this one goes in my personal planner. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. And until next time, have a great day. Bye.